A real wise individual once told me that when things get tough, it's because you're being attacked. You're doing your best work, and the evil spirits that are trying to keep humanity down will begin attacking you to keep you from being successful. Gotta just double down, dig into that grit, and keep going. And that's why while you're sleeping in on Sunday morning, I'm out here doing my very finest work to try and save the world with an idea that I came up with. Alright, so a lot of people, they think, hey, how can some uneducated country boy from Nunica, Michigan build a machine that can heal the world? Well, first of all, I do have a community college degree in construction technology, and I've worked my whole life building custom equipment for job sites all across this half of the country. So I'm not uneducated. Plus I'm self-educated. And it's pretty easy in the world today with things like YouTube, books. There's a lot of ways you can learn things. So the best way I can show you how I've learned things is to show you the evolution of one single component of this robot. We're going to use this as a metaphor today, but I think you'll understand. These are the Mark 1, Mark 2, and Mark 3 filters for the robot. And this 5-gallon bucket here was the cheapest way for me to make a high-flow multi-stage filter. It's got plastic baffles inside it, and it was filled full of activated carbon and hydrophobic oil-absorbent pad to take care of the oil. And I lived for a whole year drinking the water that came out of this bucket. And I survived just fine. So obviously fish will be okay too, right? We're certainly not hurting anything, but activated carbon alone is a powerful, powerful filter. So I knew beyond a doubt that what I was doing was working because, well, science and scientists. And that's all I've really done here, metaphorically, through every piece of this machine, is take what highly educated scientists had developed in process and adapted it in a new way. So a great deal of my inspiration for everything in this machine was Leonardo da Vinci's water wheel, and I would urge you to look into that, and then you'll see where I had taken apart Leonardo da Vinci's water wheel and basically built my machine out of the components and the principles behind that. Leonardo da Vinci was a pretty smart guy, right? So when people attack me for selling snake oil, you're not attacking me. You're attacking Leonardo da Vinci. Not me. But because the packaging was a 5-gallon Lowe's bucket, I do believe that was the root of the attacks on that thing's functionality. People couldn't see the water going in, they couldn't see the water going out, and to really see the results of how this machine works, you need a $5,000 microscope and a bit of an education in how to run it to even see what's really going on with this machine. The next filter I put together was better packaging. It's an actual pool pump, but same principles in how I ran it. Hydrophobic pad, activated carbon, because they're proven. They're proven high-speed filtration process. But again, people couldn't see it, and so they called me a liar and snake oil, and that's not what's going on here. So the theme you'll see consistently in the future with my machine is making it very, very obvious how I invested heavily in polycarbonate so I could make panels so that people could see. And what you're seeing here is a multi-chamber filter. And it uses 3 processes to condition the water. The first one is just all oil-absorbent hydrophobic pigment pads that will be thrown away as they break down. As well, there's many, many more stages of hydrophobic in here because I don't want any oil leaving my filter. I want the absolute cleanest water that I can get. I think in the future I will make a cartridge for these 3 chambers here. So you're seeing a stack of hydrophobic, and then there's a big pile of activated carbon underneath. And because the activated carbon breaks down, there's 4 chambers of activated carbon, but the last one has the foam in it basically to slow the water down and catch the smaller particles of activated carbon so they don't leave the system. And then as a final, hydrophobic, and 3 levels of aeration. There will be a small waterfall here that'll create aeration and water flow over the hydrophobic. Again, another waterfall here, but it steps down, and then a big step down over here for aeration. And aeration is very important for water quality, to oxygenate it and release ammonia. So, you know, you can pretty clearly see the evolution just in my Craftsman here with the building of this machine. And I think the third one is going to be fantastic. Another... I can't show you the Mark I frame. I had to destroy it to build the Mark II frame. But the purpose of the Mark II frame was just to rapid prototype and really beat the snot out of every system individually so that I could get it reliable, get it balanced, and do my best to perfect it in its process. And I wanted to be able to break this one down so it was easy to transport. But we're getting to a point now where these systems are growing and the weight is increasing to the point that we'll have solar panels on top. These back tanks are the storage tanks, and then everything falls down into the chambers. You can see the scoop up front. There's a couple of pieces in the system that have never changed from day one, and it's just because, you know, they worked. Again, you can see the Da Vinci water wheel at work with the paddle wheel, aerating and segregating into the scoop. The heavy biologic can fall down through the bypass. Fish, things of that nature can get bypassed, and then we use the pumps and the vacs to clear the water up. And that's just worked amazingly well. No need to really change the fundamental principles behind it. As well, the centrifuge. It's just been a matter of making it better and getting better flow. We started at 10 gallons an hour, final process, and people would just kind of laugh at me. How are you going to do all this water only doing 10 gallons an hour? But that wasn't the point. The point was proof of concept. Now the point is volume. And all of these pieces and parts that I'm building are building to expand upon. I have to do the calculation. This is my final restriction point on final process, but the cool thing is I got room for 2 more. So eventually we'll be able to move 10,000, 20,000 gallons an hour maybe through this. I don't know. It's all kind of a great experiment to find out what everything is capable of. You know, this is going to be something that shows people how well this is working. And why are we focused on that? Because I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart, the little bit of intelligence I have in my brain, my sheer tenacity, and all of my dough to just do this here. What I need is people to realize that we can do this. What I'm setting out to do here is prove to the world that this is a mountain worth climbing and that we can climb it. We can turn this around if we dedicate ourselves to it and fund this. We can get these habitats to recover. The earth will heal itself. If we were to go away right now, the earth would heal itself. It would just take time. But if we get out there and we help it, it'll heal even faster. And there'll be more food and more oxygen and less oppressive heat and more love and less war. I gotta show the world that this can be done. I gotta climb this mountain. I gotta make this wave, so that people see we can do this, and we're gonna. With every last breath that I have, I will fight to show the world that this is not only worth doing, because it's pretty obvious that it's worth doing, but that we can, and we can. We can. All right, so the last thing here is I do have people that want to invest from time to time in what I'm doing, and the first thing they ask is, how many patents do I have on this machine? I need somebody willing to invest $500,000 right now, and 50 grand of that would go to patents. That's how much it would actually cost. Okay, and here let me show you. We certainly got a patent here. We certainly got a patent here. We certainly got a patent there. And now we're developing new technology to work with the centrifuge, and there's another patent there. And this is one of the things I'm most excited about that we're adding to the system. I'll give you guys a brief explanation, and then we'll just move on, because I really want people to see how it works before I really get into it. But this is a high-speed stratification chamber with the ability to move 20,000 gallons an hour, at least 10 for sure. Stratification requires us to slow the water down. So we pump the water into the bottom and give it the opportunity to slow down and condense, because all of the pollution that we're going after, nuisance, biologic, oil, plastic, it's all buoyant and will float on the surface. So as it stacks up, we'll stop the system and pump it off into storage chambers and further stratification so we can make biodiesel out of it. It's pretty simple physics, with the addition of a little experiment that I have going, and I love experiments. I was told a long time ago that we could use a static electric charge and ionize the pollution, and it would bind together and help us. That's one of the principles that they actually use to filter, is ionization, filtration. So I did a cool thing here, and I alternated my panels with stainless and aluminum, because they're very different from each other, and the aluminum being less noble. The electrolyte will be the salt, and the flow will cause an ionization inside this chamber. There will be certain environments where we don't want to ionize, so I will tune it by adding and taking away zinc, which is the least noble, and the zinc will absorb all of the ionization instead of the aluminum, if I need to take away or add, as I tune it for different environments. And the workmanship in it is, I'm proud of it. And it's all backlit, and it will be the centerpiece for the new machine. So all this polycarbonate will be lit up, so that the average Joe will be able to walk in, see nasty, dirty water going into the machine, and beautiful, clean water coming out of the machine, and it'll be very obvious that it's working. And hopefully the people then will call for the funding to begin so we can expand on these things. I'm not here to become a millionaire. I'm just here to prove that we can do this, and then I'm here to go do it. I have to get to a point where I have 5 of these machines out working together in a pattern. I have to take what's in my brain on how to operate these things and how to hunt high concentrations and put it in a brain that's highly intuitive and can go out in the world and just do its job and harness the sunshine to harvest pollution, to encourage aquatic habitats, success. That's it. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. So, in closing, I love my friends and my family, and I'm sorry that I get so distant from time to time. I hope everyone understands, that knows me and loves me, that as I get closer and closer and closer, I can't eat, I can't sleep. My brain just becomes 100% obsessed with what I'm working on. It's all I do is think about how to make these things better and how to grow it and get it funded and make a real difference. I can't help myself. I'm not in control of this. It's just the way that I'm wired. So I have several friends that are kind of complaining that I don't have a girlfriend, and I need to have a girlfriend, and Is there a girl? Yeah, sure. There's a girl that I absolutely adore. But I adore her so much that I don't want her to be with me. I want her to be with someone that can spend all that time with her, and hopefully someone that is very successful and can support her and her family's growth. I don't want her with me. I'm completely obsessed with building robots in the woods. Noble as it may be, I'm not a provider right now. In fact, the contrary. People around me just seem to get hurt because I don't have time for them, and I don't. I barely have time for this. After busting my ass to make enough dough to even get this thing to move forward, then I have to come out here on Sunday and kick ass some more just to keep ahead. That's the only way this gets done, is if I put twice as much work in life than everybody else. No woman needs to go through that. It's hell. It's hell. And I'm glad that you guys don't have to go through it. I'm glad that you guys get to sit on your asses and spend time with your families. That's why I'm out here. That's why I'm out here doing this, so that your children will hopefully have a life worth living in a world worth living in. And that's that. So, as far as the chick thing is concerned, no offense, but it's not going to happen right now. It's just not. And it sucks. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is, right? I miss surfing. I miss playing guitar. I miss air conditioning. I miss endless hot showers. But that's not my life right now. This is my life right now. What chick in her right mind wants to stand next to me out here in the woods? Nah, man. I want better for y'all. So I'm going to keep working on better for y'all. Y'all love your families. And give them all a hug. Hug for me, all right? Peace out, folks.